He is the Detroit Lions nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award, and he joins us now here on 97.1 The Ticket. And I know you're not going to spend a whole lot of time here, Jared, tooting your own horn, but I do know it's a well-deserved honor. You donated over $250,000 to finance 1 million meals during COVID-19. You've got your JG Reading Zone, the STEAM Lab for kids, high school kids that you put together. Congratulations. And again, you're probably not going to toot your own horn, but it's got to feel good.
Yeah, it does feel good. I mean, it's a cool honor, and it's my first time getting it, so it's definitely pretty cool for me, and I'll enjoy this ride with it, and hopefully can continue to do some good things in the community. But ultimately, it's about those kids that we've been able to help over the last few years, and specifically here in Detroit, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
I saw the video posted on social media, and I believe it's how you found out you had received this nomination, and you were kind of moved. Tell the people how you found out.
Yeah, I was doing the Monday show with Dan Miller up in the media room upstairs, and typically with him it's just a quick 5-10 minute interview, and we're out of there. He's like, I got something to show you. They pulled out the iPad, and the kids that actually helped me design the clothes that we sold this fall told me on the video, and it was pretty cool, pretty emotional, and those kids mean a lot to me, and I'm happy to be able to help them, and they were incredibly important in this whole thing.
Yeah, you were also nominated yesterday by one of our listeners as Champ of the Week. We do a Champ and Chump of the Week.
He won the award, which is probably as big a deal.
Yeah, right. And it was because somebody noticed that when, I think it was Amon St. Brown had scored the second touchdown and he spiked it into the wall, that you walked over, picked up the football, and handed it to a fan in the stands. And the listener said, you could not have made the fans' day more. It was just a special moment for that kid, and that's awesome.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, I saw that ball on the ground. The game was kind of out of hand at that point, so I was able to, focus on making the fans' day a little bit better and handling the ball. And, yeah, it's always fun, man. It's fun to give back to those fans, especially when they're giving so much to us.
Well, what else is fun is kicking somebody's tail, and that's what you guys did. You didn't have to punt. Was that the most complete game you've been a part of in a while?
No doubt. Yeah, it's the most complete game, certainly as a Lion and probably in my career in a long time. Offense, defense, special teams, we had a bunch of 3-and-outs. We had the turnover early. And then offensively, yeah, we weren't stopped once. We got finished with points. And even so, as greedy as we are, we think we could have had a few more touchdowns in there. But, scoring 40 is a good day, and the way our defense played and the way special teams played, and Badgley making 4 kicks, it was a big day for everybody. It was fun.
Can you explain to us and to the listeners what it must feel like to be on the field when it feels like you can do no wrong, when things are clicking that well? What is that feeling like?
It's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun, and that's the way it should be. When you put all this time in and you prepare and you do everything the right way and you're working so hard, you go out there and you want to have results like that. But no, offensively, certainly when we were out there, we felt like there wasn't a coverage they could play that would stop us. There wasn't anything they could do in the run game that could stop us. Our O-line was blocking their tails off, and whenever they're playing like that up front, I've got a hell of a lot of time back there to figure it out, and we were able to do a pretty good job. Excuse me.
You always deflect a lot of the praise when we've talked to you, but one of the things that seems clear is that it's not just Jared Goff and it's not just the offense. It's Ben Johnson as well, and it feels like this Ben Johnson-Jared Goff relationship is really working well. Yeah,
man.
Yeah. Why? What is it about Ben Johnson and Jared Goff that's working well?
He's an incredible communicator. Him and I are on the same page on really everything. Throughout the week we talk constantly. We're constantly figuring out how we want to do things, and most of it's him, but he'll take my ideas here and there. And but just being on the same page, how good he is at communicating, how well he prepares not only me but our whole offense and getting everyone ready. And he's a very smart guy, but he's a lot of fun to play with. He's a lot of fun to work with, and I'm going to stop pumping him up too much because I know what that leads to. But he's a hell of a coach. Well,
it's interesting because you say all the communication on, and I being an outsider, I'm thinking, well, isn't that typical between an offensive coordinator and a quarterback? But apparently, he does it better than anybody you've ever played for before.
No, I don't know. I mean, he's really good. I mean, the only guy I have to compare him to is Sean, and they're both really good. And but Ben has allowed me to have a lot of say and have a lot of input and have a lot of my fingerprints on on this offense, and he trusts me, and I trust him. It's a really good working relationship right now, and we've got a good thing going these past few weeks. Certainly, we've had our lumps though through the season and worked through those, but he's a hell of a guy and a guy that I love playing for.
Coming off the loss on Thanksgiving, you guys had a few days off. You get back at it last week, and finally, it seems like you have the full complement of receivers and the offense in place. What was practice like last week towards the end of the week? I mean, did you just have this feeling we're ready to make a run here?
Yeah. Well, on Wednesday, I had a big smile on my face having about 9 healthy receivers out there running around. And that made things fun, and we joke about it, but we got our horses back, and got some of those dudes back that can run on the outside, and some of those bigger fellows with Josh and DJ, and again Cleef and Tom Kennedy and St. Brown held it down while they did and did a hell of a job, and I'm so thankful for those guys. But getting guys a little bit of size back can always help, and especially on the edge.
Talk about DJ Chark and what you've seen from him the last couple of weeks, and what he obviously can mean to this offense.
Yeah, he's finally healthy again. I thought the first 3 weeks he played just like he is right now. We just hadn't had him on the field since then. But he's playing like he has. He's healthy. He's confident. Obviously, last week was a big one for him, and he wanted to play well, and he certainly showed up. But he's been playing really well, and a guy that will continue to get better, and him and I will continue to get more reps together. As much as time as we did have in training camp, we still have missed however many games it was together, 6 games or so, and so getting him back now for these last 5 will be big.
That was nice. He got the game ball, or one of the game balls anyway, that Dan Campbell was handing out afterwards. And Dan Campbell also recognized you in the locker room, and the team reacted in a great way. And I think you said to Dan Miller that it's fun to play for a coach like Dan. What is it about him that makes it fun in practice, on game day, and maybe in film room or whatever?
Yeah, it's constant energy, and it's constant positivity and optimism, and at the same time, he's very genuine, and he holds people accountable, and he will tell you like it is. He's not going to sugarcoat anything to you, I think, is what a lot of people respect. But at the same time, it's very optimistic and fun and high energy, and relatively light at practice. It's a lot of fun.
The other thing is Amon-Ra St. Brown. It just feels like he's turning into a star in front of our eyes. And you talked about the trust that you built with him early on. What's the ceiling for this guy?
Yeah, I mean, who knows, right? He's certainly pushing the ceiling that everyone may have assumed he had when we drafted him. But I think early on when we first got him, you could see, his work ethic, his professionalism, his every day he showed up to work the same way. And now things are starting to slow down for him. I think he's starting to really see the field well and really start to fully understand coverage. And him and I are on such a great page right now. And he's doing everything right. He does everything right in the run game, the pass game. He's always where he needs to be. He's always blocking the right guy. He's consistently doing the right thing, and when you do that, you typically get a lot of balls and a lot of production. And at the same time, he's a hell of a teammate and never asks for it.
It's all part of the game, and there was a play that I imagine that the quarterback, sometimes you feel awful to have to put guys in a difficult situation. The throw you made to St. Brown across the middle, and he gets blasted, hangs onto the ball, has to come off the field for a play, but then comes back and makes more plays in the game. Do you guys have a conversation about that after something like that happens? Like, hey, man, I didn't mean to do it to you, but you were open. I got to hit you there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some of them that I wish, I didn't have to do. And, yeah, I would like to throw that to him a little bit earlier and he doesn't get hit, but maybe I was a little bit late and it got him hit. But, I'm sure if you ask him, it feels a lot better when he comes down with it and it's a catch. But I was very thankful that it was just, got the wind knocked out of him and he was fine. I'm sure he's a little bit sore from it, and I apologize, but he's a tough guy and a guy that I trust over the middle. That's part of his game, is being tough in there, and I trust him, and he goes and makes those catches and is playing as good as anybody in the league right now.
Each week that you guys win, you get closer and closer to getting back towards a playoff spot. How much are you paying attention to that?
Yeah, we are, but we got a lot of work to do. If we were, one game out, we beat this one team and we're in, then that's a different story. We got to win quite a few games here in the last 5, and it's one at a time. And that's the best way that we've been able to win these last 5 games, or 4 out of the last 5, is just focusing one game at a time. So we got the Vikings this week, and we'll deal with whoever we have after that. But bottom line is, if we don't win, most of these games, if not all of them, we don't give ourselves a chance anyway. So it's the best way to do it, is to focus one game at a time.
There's early games that were lost. A lot of them were by 3 points or less, and it's got to be hard to do that. But winning games later in the season, do you look back at those and say, we learned how to win from those? And if so, what did you learn from the Vikings game that you can apply to Sunday?
Yeah, I think we learned how to slam the door on teams, and in that Vikings game we didn't. We really didn't. We kind of blew it there at the end, certainly offensively with 2 drives where we could have ended it. And I think you look at the Giants game, you look at the Chicago game, ending the ball on the field, running that 4-minute offense and ending with the ball. That's stuff that we've learned how to do. Defense making a stop in the fourth quarter against the Packers and even the Giants and last week. It's a lot of learning of how to slam the door shut, knowing when those moments are, knowing when the time comes to finish a game, and we've grown up in that way and learned how to do it.
I know it's not your side of the ball, but boy, the defense, Jared, they had a game earlier in the year where they didn't force a punt, just like you guys didn't have to punt this past. And now they're making plays, they're getting stops. Maybe you've seen it in practice, but how much better has that group gotten?
Yeah, a lot better, man. It's been fun to watch their progression. I think seeing AG really start to flourish now is awesome too, and the impact he's had on these guys and how good of a coach he's been. But yeah, seeing the young guys kind of figure it out a little bit. And like I said, learning when those moments are where, hey, this is kind of the game right here, or hey, we need a third down stop, and just kind of turning it up a notch for those moments has been fun to see them do that and play so well. We've got some really, really talented rookies as well as a good veteran group and some guys that have been some good role players over there too. It's a really good group right now, and they're playing with a lot of confidence.
Kind of changing gears for the last question, looking at college football right now, and Doug and I have talked an awful lot about the transfer portal and teams trying to rebuild themselves through the portal or whatever, and players deciding, you know what, I want a better opportunity somewhere else. Had the rules been different when you played in college, could you have seen yourself entering the portal to leave Cal to go to one of the bigger schools that had a chance?
What do you mean?
To have a chance to win a national championship.
We play in the Division One.
Yes.
I
didn't play the Rose Bowl, did you?
No, I started for 3 years there and wanted to see it through. And no, I don't believe I would have. I'm just giving you a hard time, but no, I don't believe I would have. And I had a great time there and was able to start for 3 years. In that third year, we were able to finish with a bowl game victory, and something I'm super proud of. So no, but I do see where some guys do that now, and certainly with a lot of these coaches changing teams and. A lot of these coaches are telling their players to get in the transfer portal, which is, kind of crazy. But it's much more prevalent obviously now than when I was playing.
Jared, we appreciate your time again. Congratulations on being the Lions nominee for Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year, and the website for people who want to support and buy some of the gear, and you match all the purchases. You match them, and for the Fate Scholarship Fund, it's JG16 on .com. So. People can help support. Thank you for your time, and we'll talk next week.
Hey, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Jared.
There he is, Detroit Lions quarterback Jared Goff, here on 97.1 The Ticket.